What's up, guys? DTM here, back at it with some more videos for you guys. Today is not a great day for me because I am a little bit upset about all of these things that are going on right now regarding Halo Infinite, and it has nothing to do with the game itself, unfortunately. It has to do with the storylines associated with the game. Here is my problem with this. There is a lot of misinformation out there, a lot of lack of journalism being done in regards to this. If you have any knowledge of Halo or 343 as a studio, you know that a lot of these stories that are coming out are just plain not true. And quite frankly, I am tired of seeing it, and I'm tired of seeing fanboys. I'm tired of seeing everyone criticize Halo Infinite for things that don't even make sense. It's fine to criticize things that you see and that you don't like, so to speak, but to criticize a game for leaks and information that is factually incorrect, especially things that have come out afterwards that is incorrect and confirmed incorrect from 343 themselves and from, you know, common sense, knowing the actual game and the developer and how they operate. So I kind of want to go into those things right now with you guys because quite frankly, I am upset and I'm pissed off about it, and I'm tired of seeing it all, and I want to clarify it all in one video. I do want to shout out Harrisbus. I hope I said his name correctly on Twitter, at HARUSPIS. He's in the Halo community, and him, like everyone else in the Halo community, or most of the Halo community rather, knows that all of this information is complete bullcrap, but he kind of combined it all into one blog post that he did that I thought was super great, and I loved reading it from him. And his blog is harrisbus.blog, so check that out as well. I am going to use a little bit of that to kind of help guide this speech together, but obviously all of these things have been pieced together by the entire community while all of this is going on, as well as Sketch, community manager at 343, has confirmed many of these things to be factually incorrect. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump right in, guys. So this week, IGN had an article that was posted that said Halo Infinite's turbulent development has been detailed in a new report. So this was apparently some kind of Thurrott report. And the thing is about this report is Thurrott isn't really a big gaming article company. They're more of like a tech podcast or something. My problem with this is there's many problems with this. They were saying that the Halo TV series was being impacted, was impacting Halo Infinite's development. We'll get to that in a second. They were also saying that major outsourcing was affecting development of the game. This is what got me fired up, because I know these things to be incorrect for the reasons we're going to go into. But first, before we get to that, I do want to talk about one thing. So there has been talk over the years of campaign and multiplayer being separated from Halo Infinite, and that even came to a head this year when they talked about possibly delaying the game because it wasn't ready. So Phil Spencer went on Animal Talking and did confirm that they talked about possibly splitting up campaign and multiplayer. There was a report from Brad Sams, can't stand the guy. He has very bad information 90% of the time, that said that 343 was going to release campaign this fall on Series X day one, and then release multiplayer at a later date. That is factually incorrect, and has been confirmed by Brian Gerard that it is factually incorrect. And Brian Gerard even went on and said he doesn't normally entertain this kind of stuff, but because he was partially implicated as well as 343, he felt a need to completely just address this situation, which was factually incorrect. He said that the discussion was that multiplayer would be released alongside Series X this fall, and then campaign would come at a later date when it was ready. So that's completely opposite from what the report was from Brad Sams. That is why you cannot trust just what someone says. You have to actually do the research yourself and see if that makes sense. Halo is widely known as a multiplayer powerhouse. Why would you release a Halo game without multiplayer? You wouldn't. Hence why they delayed. They made the decision to delay so that they could have the entire package all at the same time. But it never made sense to me that they would release a campaign and then multiplayer much later. That doesn't even make sense for Halo. So that kind of, finishes that out. The next thing, there was a claim that last year's Discover Hope's cinematic trailer from 2019, E3 2019, was outsourced completely. That is a load of bullshit. I'm sorry. The trailer was made in engine with assets in the engine, and it was made. You can tell when something is made by a developer as opposed to someone outsourcing it to like a CG company or something along those lines. And Brian Gerard confirms this fact yet again on Twitter, saying development partnerships have been a part of every Halo title, and on behalf of the entire 343 team that worked incredibly hard to deliver Discover Hope for E3 2019, I'd like to make it very clear that the demo was not outsourced. Listen to that. The demo was not outsourced. So again, complete lack of understanding of what's going on, and people just want to speculate, and it's just frustrating as a big Halo fan hearing people say things that are just blatantly not true. And you know that it's not true as a Halo fan, but the things that are getting out to the general public, the people that don't know those things, they're taking these news stories as facts, and they're thinking all of these problems are going to happen with Halo Infinite. It's absurd. Moving on from that, there was a claim a long time ago. Two creative directors, Tim Longo and Mary Olson, they both left 343 in 2019, which is widely known. There were people essentially saying that after Tim left, Mary Olson was promoted into his role, and that she left in October of the same year that he left, a few months prior. But again, that wasn't true. Tim Longo was a creative director, one creative director on Halo Infinite, but he was also on Halo 5, and it's widely known that Halo 5 utilized a more squad-based gameplay than Halo Infinite looks to have. And Tim Longo's experience comes from like Star Wars, I can't think of the name, but the Star Wars game that's like a team game where you have squad mates and such. That is his experience. That's why Tim left. It's obvious to know that. But Mary was not promoted in his place. Mary was just a producer on Halo Infinite. A single producer. That happens all the time. People come and go all the time from game development. That's normal. Again, so very, very frustrating. Unishek, shout out to him. He's another community guy on the team at 343. Actually clarified as well. I'm not going to read the whole thing for you there because I've already read everything else so far. He clarified what Tim and Mary's roles were at the studio, and there was a lot of confusion before Unishek clarified that. So I'm glad Uni clarified that for people, because people were taking it, again, to the extreme and the wrong direction. It's complete BS. The next thing, marketing and engineering have been at odds against each other. So they were essentially saying that an example was that a few weeks ago when the Halo team announced that multiplayer would be free and run at 120 frames per second, they were saying that that was a marketing thing, that they won out in that battle, so to speak. No, that's not what happened. Free to play in 120 frames per second was leaked on product pages, specifically from a toy company, a little toy company. They had the little description that said Halo Infinite will be played for free, multiplayer will be free, and 120 frames per second. So then they obviously had to come out and just say, yeah, that's coming, because it was leaked already. Why would you hide it if it's already been leaked, especially when it's good news like that? That's good news. So again, another story people are trying to twist to their favor. So tired of it. So let's move on to the Halo TV series. Has been a distraction for 343's management. Complete and utter BS. As soon as I heard this, I knew it was bullshit, because the thing is, from the very beginning of 343 being built back in 2007, 2008, whenever they were initially built, they were created as not only the developer of Halo going forward, but also the guardian of Halo. They created a team, a separate team, a transmedia team that is led by Kiki Wolfkill, that has been there from the beginning, that handles TV series, comics, books, everything other than the games is handled by their team. It is a completely separate team than the main development team of Halo Infinite. It has no impact on the game's development whatsoever. So the fact that somebody's saying that would have affected the game's development, that's silly. That is extremely silly. And it was actually confirmed again by Brian Gerard, saying that Halo Infinite has a dedicated transmedia team, which is exactly what I said. It's, to be honest, it's absurd, and this is why I'm frustrated, because all of these articles are misinformation and people just taking it to the extreme in the wrong direction. So kind of the last thing I wanted to talk about is Halo Infinite's graphics. So when it was shown off at E3 this year, E3 was canceled this year. So when it was shown off at the Xbox Game Showcase this year, there were some people out there confused, saying this doesn't look like a next-gen game, and this doesn't look as good as it should be, and all this stuff. Well, I have a few things for you. 343 made a blog post as soon as the gameplay for Halo Infinite was revealed and said, yes, we still have work to do on this. I mean, we're still months away from launch. We still have a lot of work to do. It isn't where we want it yet. And they even confirmed ray tracing was going to come in 2021. When it was still on track to come out this fall, they said ray tracing was being pushed to 2021 because it wasn't ready. It was not ready yet. And I think they thought they could possibly get it done and then ray tracing and an update in 2021. But the fact of the matter is they knew it wasn't ready yet, but they had to show something because they're a launch title at that point. So yes, they showed something. But also at the same time, many people are misconstruing the graphics as well, because the graphics ultimately stem from the art style of the game. The art style is heavily influenced by the original trilogy of the franchise, which the original trilogy is well known for having a much simpler art style, a much cleaner, smoother edges, less complexity, not as much going on. That is what Halo is, and colorful art style. That is what Halo has always been. Halo 4 and Halo 5, absolutely stunning, beautiful video games, but they are over-designed and have details out the wazoo. That is what people didn't like about 343's games before Halo Infinite, was that they over-designed everything. They put so many little details and scratches and bolts and all these things on Chief's armor and on enemies and on enemy's skin and all of that. There was too much detail that people did not like that because it wasn't the same as the original trilogy. And that's what they did for Halo Infinite. They went back to that original art style, and people misconstrue that as, oh, this game looks like trash. I mean, all you have to do is look at Halo 4 and Halo 5 on Xbox One on the Master Chief Collection to know that 343 knows how to make a freaking phenomenally realistic, beautiful video game. That's not what Halo Infinite is going for, nor has it ever been going for that. That's not what it is. That's not what they wanted. That's not what the Halo fans wanted either. I mean, I apologize, I'm getting a little choked up, but it's very frustrating. As someone who's a huge Halo fan, I am so tired of coming home every day and seeing people crap on this video game that isn't even out yet. The thing is, give 343 the time they need to make the video game, and let the video game come out, and then you can judge it after you play it. Don't sit here and try to make accusations about a video game that isn't even out yet. That doesn't make sense. Everything I just said is all factual information. You can look it all up. As I said, you can visit Harrisbus's blog, harruspis.blog.com, and you can find that. It's very frustrating, though, and quite frankly, I'm not the only Halo fan that is upset about this, and I'm tired of fanboys, specifically PlayStation fanboys, because you have this thing where you have one extreme PlayStation fanboys, one extreme Xbox fanboys, where they just crap on each other all the time, and I'm sick of it. Video games are to be enjoyed by everyone on every platform. So stop and enjoy the video games. Enjoy the video games. It does not matter what platform you are on. So stop with the hate. 343 will deliver on Halo Infinite. I promise you that. Halo Infinite is 343's Halo 3. I've been saying that for a long time, and I believe it. And every single bullcrap report that comes out that is proven false needs to stop. That's it, guys. See you guys next time. I don't know when I'll be back, but see you guys next time.